Hello everyone, ex-Wallkill Bethelite here. Just started a new job, been a little busy, but let's talk a little bit about this Watchtower article on child sex abuse. Now, the Watchtower articles are mind-numbing. I've been busy. I haven't been able to motivate myself to actually read the Watchtower article, but I watched the Irregular Pioneers video on it. Said, okay, well, let me listen to someone talk about the article while I prepare, get ready for work. And there's several things that I would like to add, I would like to mention. I know it's been discussed amongst the community at, probably quite a bit by this time. Jehovah's Witnesses, when they want action taken, or if they want something not to happen, their pattern over 100 years has been to do something about whatever the situation is. So, for example, when it comes to money, Watchtower has no problem at the assemblies, conventions, to let everybody know that they have a deficit, because money is important to them. All the Bible students out there, you know a tree by its fruits, right? Watchtower has been pretty active in collecting money. There has been plenty of articles, Watchtower articles or Awakes or whichever magazine they wanted to put it in, telling Watchtower's witnesses, the followers of Watchtower, to donate gold, jewelry, donate property. Instead of handing it down to loved ones, go ahead and donate it to Watchtower. Watchtower has been concerned about money. Therefore, Watchtower has been extremely proactive in pursuing money. See, we get that point. What Watchtower cares about, Watchtower does something about, right? So, of course, you got Samuel Hurd talking about funds. You got people talking about more money's going out than what's coming in. They've been after the money. People who have attended meetings know that Watchtower will be all over a sister about her dress and the style of the dress and how low the dress is and everything else. People will be all over you about if you raised your hand for a comment or not. You will be talked to real quick if you don't go knocking on doors. So we have plenty of evidence that when Watchtower is interested in something, it pursues it. They'll send elders to your house and go spy on you, figure out where your car is parked. Is your car parked outside of a opposite sex's home? They are perfectly capable, of if there's something that's a concern, doing something about it. So the child sex abuse has been going on for an extremely long period of time. And you mean to tell me in 2019, an organization that claims to be directly led by God or to be representing God just now got around to making an article about child sex abuse and put, from my understanding, very little effort in actually trying to stop it. I mean, basically, I guess they said that child sex abuse is a sin. You mean to tell me that an organization led by God is focused on one organization? He's not leading all the churches according to Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses are saying God himself is focused completely on one organization, and this organization just now in 2019 figured out that molesting kids is a sin. Is that what came out? And I believe they said something to the effect of you can report it to the police now. They just now figured this out. 2019. God has been focused on one group, and that one group, according to them, with the help of God, just now figured out that child sex abuse is a sin, and we should probably let people know that they should tell the police if that happens to their kids. Even if God was leading Watchtower, the fact that Watchtower just now is figuring this out, that we need to put this in an article, would make them the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Because with God's help, they just now figured out that child sex abuse is a sin. And according to them, all these churches that are around don't have God's backing or help, and they've been known that. Even if it's going on in the churches, they've known it was a sin, and you should probably tell the police if it happened. Catholic Church has been trying to make changes and things of that sort to kind of curb that situation. So Watchtower has not put forth effort. They make an article probably wanting to get some of the legalities off of them. Okay, we made this one article. Probably to, give people that want to come back an excuse to come, okay, we made this one little article. Child sex abuse is something that would scar an individual from childhood on into adulthood. It's one of the worst possible things that can happen. So how is it that you just now figured out it's a sin to scar someone for probably their entire life? Just now figuring that out? So this article comes out, and if Watchtower was really that concerned, they would have had articles on it, just like they've had articles on donating money, donating jewelry, donating land. See, Watchtower is just like these other religious groups that ask for money, because they've been asking for money plenty. They've got a little cartoon for kids where they made a skit where kids should give their money to Watchtower instead of spending it on, the kid only has so much money, instead of spending on what the kid wanted. So they're all over money. Those are the fruits we see from this tree called Watchtower. They're pursuing money. They're after money. They done thought of every different way that they can go about pursuing money. They got people giving them their account numbers so that a certain sum of money just comes out of their account every month. They don't even have to give it as a donation physically. The money just coming out of their account. Watchtower's put a lot of work into getting money, selling buildings in Brooklyn. They've been busy with the money aspect of it. But taking care of the children, that Jesus cared so much about, let the children come to me. Jesus obviously cared about the children. Taking care of the children is the lowest priority that Watchtower has. They haven't even, correct me if I'm wrong, put the article down below if Watchtower has already dealt with child sex abuse in the organization. But yeah, they just now they're getting around to it. It's kind of too late now. And they haven't done anything about it. So these young girls that have these things happen to them still have to go in front of all these strange old men and speak to them. So if a girl is sexually abused, she then has to go and talk to in a group of men and explain to them in detail everything that happened to her sexually. They haven't changed that to keep these perverts from acquiring information they have no business having. Also, field service. That's got to be one of children inside Watchtower has got to be the most unprotected, the easiest accessible group. Kids in Watchtower are probably easier to access than any other religion. Field service. Jehovah's Witnesses, from my personal experience, will allow their kids to get in a car and drive off with anybody in that congregation, as long as that congregation calls it field service, or they're standing next to a cart. We're going to go stand next to a cart. They have grown adults standing next to carts, and those carts are by high schools. I don't know if they're by middle schools. I know they're by high schools. So you have adults around minors. Watchtower hasn't done anything about this. Has Watchtower come out with anything stating that we should not have adults camping out next to these carts by a high school? We shouldn't have grown men standing around a high school with those little carts? Has Watchtower done anything about that? Has Watchtower done anything about the young children, whether it be a boy or a girl, having to go and talk in detail, explaining to strange men what happened to them that aren't trained to be investigators? Watchtower hasn't done anything about all of this. Watchtower hasn't really clarified this concept that has put a lot of children in danger. And this concept is that Watchtower states it alone is the only religion being guided and directed by God, and it alone is the one group of people that can be trusted. So children and parents alike are trusting people who got their doors knocked on, were given a Watchtower, and then went inside the Kingdom Hall. These people are trusting whoever is in this Kingdom Hall because of Watchtower's teaching that they have this loving brotherhood that's being guided by God and all this other. Watchtower's got a bunch of child perverts, molesters, and what have you. We can't start talking about a loving brotherhood until they start doing something about that. And that article does not qualify. You got to do so. Okay, well, what are we doing to protect the kids outside of having one article? Because those child molesters that are all through Watchtower may have taken like 1 week off. Okay, we got an article, so let's just chill for a week, and now we're going to go right back to the same scenario where you have all these adults talking, and then you got some weirdo hanging out with the kids in these Kingdom Halls. I have seen it. I've seen grown adults spend a good amount of time with kids while all the other adults are talking. Why is this adult still over here with all these kids? And he's been there for a long period of time and does it almost every other meeting. Is something's off. They're not doing anything about any of this. So I think they're hoping that this article will just make everything blow over, and they're hoping that people want to believe so badly that the smallest thing, such as one little article, will satisfy them. What has Watchtower done to stop the child molestation is what I want to know. Having an article stating that it's a sin and that it exists and that you should call the cops. Having an article like that at this point in time in 2019, when you've been around for 100 years and you just now getting around to it, supposed to be led by God, that's just pure stupidity. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. 937-789-4029. I'll try to get around to some calls. Again, I've started a new job, so I've been busy with that. Ex-Wallkill Bethelite, signing out.